All right. Welcome, my friend. Hope you're doing well. We're not going to waste any time. We're just going to get right into this. Thanks for joining me. I truly appreciate it. Well, I guess I am allowed. I'm always late. Good gravy. I'm late to my own party. Holy Hannah. Yeah, I'm on Mexican time. Sorry about that. That's a big issue that I have. I'm always running behind lately. So, but here in Mexico, we just like to chill and mañana, tomorrow, no problemo. Okay, so just to start off with the thumbnail, yes, Mexico is safe to come to. Well, I'm not here to spread fear. I'm not here to spread misinformation. And I'm definitely not here to spread fear. Let me get that out there again. I am not here to spread fear of any shape or form. No fear to be spread. So already I'm seeing all over social media and from, yeah, I know you're just teasing. It's all good, my friend. It's all good. Thank you so much for sticking around and waiting for me, though. I truly appreciate your patience because if you're going to be with me, you better adopt some patience. Just like if you plan on living in Mexico, you better adopt some patience. So I hope you can hear me well. I hope the sound is good. It must be. I'm getting comments and replies, so that's good. And the video quality is good. Hopefully I don't lose you because if I touch anything on my desk, I seem to lose footage. So I have to be very, very cautious. So my camera goes out. So things have already calmed down greatly in Puerto Vallarta. So I've got that straight from the horse's mouth, boots on the ground, people that are walking around there, seeing what's going on. Things have already calmed down there. Okay. So we can just get that out of the way right away. And there was nothing ever going on here. So life has been very, very normal here in Puerto Morelos, where I am. Now, there was a little bit of incidents in Playa del Carmen, apparently, but it's not even confirmed that it was gang related. So then apparently there was a fire in the parking lot at one of the malls. So, like I said, that's not confirmed that that was part of the whole incident, or if someone just jumped on the bandwagon, or if the car actually legitimately caught on fire because, those things do happen and they happen all over the world. Cars catch on fire. I mean, it's a thing. So that was the big thing about what was going on here in Mexico. They were lighting cars on fire. That was the biggest thing. And they were targeting not civilians, not gringos, not white people, not locals. They were targeting mostly cutting off corridors and basically sending fear throughout the city, shutting the city down. A lot of fires, yes, lots of fires. Yeah, I don't know about that, and I didn't see any of that, so I'm not going to speak what I don't know about. I just know for a fact that I heard of one fire in Playa del Carmen of a car, and I seen a picture of it in the mall parking lot, but it was not confirmed that it was related to any of that. So I'm not going to. I'm not here to give misinformation. I'm just going to tell you what I know. Okay. So that's it. I'm not to talk about what somebody else knows or what they think they know or whatever. I'm just going to talk about what I know and from what I've seen on social media and from the research that I've done. And like I said, that what went on in Playa del Carmen has not been confirmed that was related to anything at all. So it could have been just different gang members jumping on the bandwagon, or it could have just been a fire. Who knows? Like, I don't know. So it's all hearsay. It's all gossip. So I'm not going to confirm any of that. So I don't know 100%. So I'm not going to say it's 100%. So that's just what I had heard anyway, as far as that goes, as far as Playa del Carmen goes. And same with Cancun. I never heard of any incidents in Cancun, and I never saw anything. So I'm sure there was a lot of gossip and stuff, misinformation going on in this area. But as far as I know, the governor did put out a statement, and she said there was 3 fires. There was 3 cars that were on fire. Now, there's a town just outside of where we are in Puerto Morelos, so it was on the highway, and I'm assuming my friend sent me those pictures. So yeah, no, it's all good, man. Like I say, I don't want to talk about stuff that I don't know about 100%. So I just know that there was definitely a fire in Playa del Carmen. A car burned down in a parking lot in the at the shopping mall. So I saw that. So that was real. How it started, what it was related to, I have no idea. So I don't know anything about that other than just what I just told you. So, and there was 3 fires here that were confirmed. It was out on the highway, and whether it was related to this or not, I have no idea. That wasn't confirmed at all. So there's only been one death as far as civilians, and there was a young guy in Puerto Vallarta, so God rest his soul. And then there was 25 officers that were killed, so that's why I put that up there. God rest their souls. And I put out yeah, Cosmel. Yeah, that's another one that could be BS. So I'll come back to that. So I just wanted to say condolences to the families there that lost their loved ones during this crazy times here in Mexico. So, but it looks like it's all come to an end. They weren't, like I said, they weren't targeting anybody really, other than burning buses and burning vehicles, and they were taking the people out of the buses and out of the vehicles before they set them on fire. So that was the reports that I heard, and I believe that to be true. So according to the official statement, there's only been one casualty as far as I know, and that was the official statement from the governor the other day, so, or from today. So I've done a little bit of research on that, and then obviously all the officers and the bad people that were all the bad people that were killed. So God rest their soul as well, and all the officers that were killed, and the one bartender that was caught in the crossfire. So other than that, I mean, I think they just wanted to send a message, you know. And my opinion is, personally, I think this was done very poorly, in poor fashion, illustrated by the government. I think it was in poor fashion. I think it wasn't very well executed, and they weren't prepared for the blowback, and they knew darn well there was going to be blowback. There always is when stuff like this happens. So, and this is the worst that they've seen in a very long time, in many years. So quite a few years anyway of this type of blowback. So I think it was executed very poorly, regardless of what the outcome was. That's just my personal opinion. I think it was executed very poorly. So regardless if they accomplished their mission or whatever, I don't think it was done properly. So they weren't prepared. And it's basically in Puerto Vallarta. We can confirm that it's Puerto Vallarta and Guadalajara. Other than that, other areas, I won't speculate, and I'm not going to. Apparently, there was a fire in Cozumel. It was in an OXXO station, and that was it. So, yeah, whether that was related to that or someone jumping on the bandwagon. So that was it. They were arrested apparently really quickly. So the fire was contained rather quickly and put out rather quickly, and there was an arrest rather quickly. So as far as that goes in Cozumel, but I think the law enforcement did do an excellent job of containing the situation. No, but I just think the whole thing was just executed poorly in my thought. But shout out to them, because I think they did an excellent job of what they had to deal with in Puerto Vallarta. So I've gathered some pictures. Like, there's been a lot of AI pictures and videos. Like, I found this one video. I didn't want to show it because it's just such BS. Somebody I know posted it, and you can clearly see. So you have a guy standing on the street, and he's dressed in like military gear. It's not even clear if he's a good guy or a bad guy. And there's another guy across the street firing as well. So they're both firing, standing wide out in the open, and he's going like this with his gun up in the air. Like, it's just, and he's wide out in the open. It's just so AI. It's so obvious it's fake. Like, it's just so obvious it's fake. Like, if this was real, they wouldn't be firing like that, and they wouldn't be standing out in the open like that. Like, it's just so phony. It was so fake. And like, you couldn't tell, like, where there was one guy on one side of the street, a bad guy, and the other guy was a good guy, or were they both bad guys, or what? Like, it was just so fake. Like, it just like, I didn't even have to go into the comments. Like, as soon as I went into the comments, I looked AI, AI, AI. Like, I knew already it was fake just by watching a few minutes of it. And then there was they were showing the Costco fire of all the cars being burnt at Costco. So they were targeting like big businesses. They weren't targeting mom and pop shops. You know, they were targeting OXXO, Costco, cars, parking lots, you know, stuff like that. They never actually shot any individuals, any civilians or like that, other than the guy that was caught in the crossfire. They made sure people were off the bus. They got people off the buses before they lit them on fire and torched them. Same with the cars, dragged people out of the cars, you know, probably at gunpoint. I don't know. I wasn't there, but I'm assuming, right? You know, but they got them out of their car and then they lit them on fire. So they're just sending a message. So, but yeah, tons and tons of fake stuff. So the Costco one, you could see it billowing the big fire from all the cars, and then, you know, a few people were, oh, they burnt the Costco down. Well, no, they didn't. They didn't burn Costco down. It was the cars in the parking lot that burnt down. So that is for sure factual. You know, the cars were burned down in the parking lot, not actual Costco. And there was another one that showed an airplane being burnt, and that's fake. That was confirmed that it was fake. There was no plane that was burnt down anywhere. So they showed a plane on a tarmac that was going around social media, and that was confirmed fake as well. So there's been numerous fake imagery and videos circulating online. So I did dig up some pictures here, and I also so I'm just going to read on here like what the information that I got from good old Google here. So, but this is, you know, the Google searched the internet and got the actual information from the proper, you know, websites, you know, authorities and whatnot. So here you have 73 people estimated, you know, had lost their life. Most of them were military, and then the bad guys, right? So the National Guard and the bad guys. 27 officers from National Guard lost their life. So God bless them and their family, and rest in peace for sure for them. You know, and then just one civilian, that was it. And then, so yeah, the rest were all 42 bad guys were killed. So that's the real outcome of it all. And then, you know, 250 narco blockades in 20 different states. So it was pretty big, actually, you know, but it went down so fast. And the majority of it took place in Puerto Vallarta and Guadalajara, right? So, and the airports were just temporarily closed in Puerto Vallarta and in Guadalajara. So they're both operational now. The airports never did close here in Cancun. That was another rumor that just, you know, gossip, hearsay stuff, right? So, I mean, I'm not downplaying what happened. It was definitely very tragic what happened. You know, I don't wish this upon my worst enemy. You know, it was very tragic what happened, but it did end rather quickly. You know, it's like I said already, life is back to normal pretty well. You know, even in Puerto Vallarta, there's still the aftermath in Puerto Vallarta, but it's already returned back to normal here. So I think some of the businesses are still closed, but a lot of them are open already. Nothing closed here, nothing closed in Cancun. It was life as normal. Playa del Carmen, life as normal. I got friends on the chat here, Keith. They're in Playa del Carmen right now. Everything's calm. I got other friends that live there. They've never seen or heard anything. So there was one fire in a parking lot, apparently. we can confirm that, but what it was related to, I can't confirm that. So this and Tulum, I guess there was some stuff going on in Tulum, but I can't confirm exactly what was going on there. So, but it's all been addressed and it's all been taken care of already. So kudos to the hardworking men and women out there that are keeping everybody safe, including us gringos and the locals. So a big shout out to them for sure. And yeah, so we'll go through some of the pictures here that I found. I'm sure you've probably seen some of them already, but I can talk briefly about each one that I found here. We'll just pop up a couple here. So this one here, I thought this was a good point to make here. Yeah, like the attacks were aimed at basically, the government, right? The police, the military, Pemex gas stations. They weren't targeting mom and pop shops, nothing like that. So we'll flip through some of these pictures here for you. I can only speak from what I know and what I've seen, and like I was actually caught up in it myself a little bit, to be honest with you guys. I was, because you're just bombarded. Like we went to church yesterday. It was life as normal Sunday. We go to church. We rode the trike there. We had a great morning. We went grocery shopping. I come home and I turned on my device. We don't watch TV in this house, so we're not those people where you come home and the news is on 24/7. Like I know a lot of people, that's how they live their lives. The news is just constantly bashing their brain with stuff 24/7. We don't live like that, and I refuse to live like that. So the news also spreads misinformation big time. So I think there's a lot of that going on in the USA and Canada and all over the world with this misinformation that's being spread online. They talk about Mexico, like the news would make it sound like all of Mexico is just a war zone, and every state, where you turn is a war zone. It's not like that, not at all. It was one isolated area or two isolated areas. It ended rather quickly. They weren't targeting civilians. They weren't out there just firing up the streets and, burning down people's homes and kidnapping people. And, it was blowback from what the government did, so we are not their enemy. We're not, right? We're not their enemy, right? So think of it that way. We're not their enemy, right? Yeah, exactly. Propaganda, and that's what sells. So, and I think there's too many people out there. I didn't want to jump on the bandwagon about spreading fear and all like that. I wanted to bring reality to what the situation is, and for us and for a lot of people. Sure, I was afraid. Definitely, I was. Like I said, I got caught up in it. I honestly did. I was caught up. Oh my God, I better lock the door. I better put both locks on the door tonight. Oh my God. And then reality sets in, and you're like, you go out and you're like, oh, okay, this life is normal. And then you start looking at all the misinformation, and you dig a little bit deeper and look beyond all the misinformation that's out there. And then reality sets in. Okay, this is, like I said, it's an isolated incident, and hopefully it doesn't happen again for a long time, and it doesn't escalate to any worse than what it's already become. So, but it sounds like it's already come to a head. It's boiled over, and it's ending. Like that's what it looks like to me. It's over already from what I've seen. Let's hope so. Anyway, like I seen a lady in Puerto Vallarta, and that's where the hot spot was. She's a YouTuber there. I like her channel. She doesn't have a lot of followers, but I can't remember her channel name. But she's down to earth type lady. She's from Canada, but she's European. But she lived in Canada for a lot of years, and then she fled Canada, and now she's living in Puerto Vallarta. Very nice lady. But she was walking the streets there, and she was saying, life is pretty normal already. Businesses are opening. People are walking around, going to the store, and the guy was selling fish out on the beach, and it was already life as normal, right? There was other imagery floating around. There was just so much BS, right? So much BS. Well, you can see here's police vehicle shot up, National Guard vehicle shot up. So, I mean, the violence was real. It was, it was real. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. So it's pretty scary stuff. It really is, and like I say, the TV, it just blows everything out of it because that sells, right? So it blows everything out of proportion. And, like I said, I'm not here to spread fear. I'm just here to bring some rationalization to what's really happening and what's going on. Because everything was pretty normal here, and from what I see, everything was pretty normal in Puerto Vallarta, and everything was pretty normal in or not Puerto Vallarta, in Playa del Carmen, sorry, and in Cozumel as well. So, I mean, I heard that there was a curfew in Cozumel, and we're going there tomorrow to meet friends, and I'm like, what? There's a curfew? No way, no way. 4:00? No, there can't be. We've already missed our last meetup with them, so I was pretty devastated when I found out there was a curfew. And then I looked deeper. Okay, no, there's no curfew in Cozumel. And like I said, there was a fire, but whether it was related to this incident or it was just, people jumping on the bandwagon, right? Because that happens, right? People, other smaller gangs or whatever, oh, let's get on the bandwagon. And, so who knows, right? That's same with the fire in Playa del Carmen. So who really knows? Or was it just a fire because he had an electrical fire and then they just threw it into the mix with all the other drama that's going on, right? So I don't know. So I'm not going to say one way or another. Only God knows the answer to that one. So we'll see if I can get through some of these images here for you. Just give me a second here, my friend. I don't. So here's one that's, false. This imagery was floating around. They was making it look like the church was burning and apartment buildings were burning and, buildings. It's fake. That was floating around online and then, just spreading fear, right? So, and you can tell it's AI generated. It's not even real. So there was imagery like that floating around, and that stuff spreads, right? And then people, oh yeah, wow. And I seen other people sharing this type of garbage, like, yeah, no, they were burning cars and buses, and it was, yeah, mostly a lot of vehicles were burned. Like there's a lot of actual footage of vehicles that were burnt, like a lot of vehicles were burnt. Like, okay, here's the plane one. I don't know if you guys seen this one. Like this was totally fake. Like there's a guy standing right there. Yeah, right. Okay, sure, buddy. I don't think so. Like this was totally fake. Fake. Yeah. So there was stuff like that floating around, and then people buy into that, right? Like not everybody is, savvy to that type of stuff, right? So people buy into this type of garbage that's floating around online. We went through this with the back in 2021 with all the misinformation. So it's yeah. Oh, what did I do there? Let me add another one here. Oh. Yeah, just so much. These are just a few that I had found, like, so here's the Costco one, and it does look like the Costco's on fire, like in the imagery. I mean, it would be pretty convincing to say they burnt Costco down. It looks very convincing that they burnt Costco down, right? But it was just cars in the parking lot. But there was people that jumped on the bandwagon and were posting this, and there was probably even news outlets that were saying, I don't watch the news, so I can't confirm that. But I bet I'd bet $1 million there was news outlets that said Costco burnt down, and they burned Costco, and yeah. So with all the chaos, though, like just imagine there was only one fatality by a civilian. Like with all the ramped up BS that was going on, like that's very, very disheartening that there was any fatalities. And then, everybody that lost their lives yesterday is still disheartening. Again, I'm not taking nothing away from what's going on, but yeah. So it's very disheartening anyway, very disheartening. But thank God that there was only one civilian casualty. So thank God for that. So we'll drop down a couple more images here for you. I got so many. I don't think I'm going to go through them all. We're just going to got any questions or comments here, you can drop them. I'll go back to the comments in a bit. Yeah, you guys, thanks for hopping on. I really appreciate it. I really haven't been doing live streams too terribly much. I just don't have the time anymore, and I want to just focus on making videos. Maybe once in a while I'll do the live on location once in a while, but I don't know. If you guys want me to do live streams, you can let me know. But I think the on location ones will be okay once in a while. But it depends on the cell service too, right? So there you go. That's a image there of a truck that was burnt. There was a lot of fires, man. A lot of fires. A lot of vehicle burnings, lots. So many. That's mostly what it was, more than anything, So yeah, what makes me happy is to have time for myself. I really enjoyed those 2 weeks off that I had from doing YouTube videos, I'll tell you that. But I enjoy making the videos for you guys, and I enjoy showing you guys around Mexico and sharing as much information as I can. And you guys know me, man. I'm going to keep it real. I'm not a fear monger. I don't do clickbait type stuff. I just want to keep it as real as possible and as authentic as possible. If you like my videos and like my style, that's great. If not, kick rocks. Nah, I love you guys all, man. Really, honestly. I joke around lots, and some people don't know how to take me because I joke quite a bit. So some people don't know how to take me. So that's it, man. That's what you saw a lot of. And I didn't really get much information from Guadalajara. Most of it was the information that was out there was just, they were more focused on what was going on in Puerto Vallarta. And like I said, people are online just spreading misinformation, and then you got people bashing them, and oh no, you're spreading fear, you're fear mongering, and blah blah blah, and I live here and life is normal, life is good. You take precautions, obviously, right? No matter where you live, we take precautions. I don't sleep with my doors unlocked anymore. I mean, back, in the 90s, maybe we used to. Even then, I don't think so. You just take precautions. You don't walk around out at night at 3 a.m. and be half liquored up, and stay away from the drugs, right? My friend, she posted, and it was a good post actually, and I agree with her. If you're here in Mexico and you're doing drugs, well, you're part of the problem. Even if it's smoking marijuana, it's illegal. Like, it's part of the problem. I mean, marijuana is not that big of a deal, but it's still part of the problem. And if you're here doing illicit drugs, well, then you're fueling the fire. You are. So we're not here doing that. So, but I know there's a lot of I won't say a lot, but obviously there is people here that are doing that, right? That come here and they figure Mexico's a free for all, and get whatever they want, and if I got money, I can buy it, and blah blah blah. Well, you're part of the problem. You know, so yeah, it's a sad world we live in nowadays. That's for sure. But like I said, I don't want to be part of the problem. I don't want to contribute to the problem, and I just want to be I want to be as accurate as I possibly can. And if I don't know something for sure, I'm not going to pretend that I know. You know, I'm not going to pretend that I know, and I'm not going to assume anything. You know, I'm not going to assume nothing. So here you got an OXO, broken into, windows smashed. So the OXOs, Pemex gas stations, places like that were targeted, like say no mom and pop shops or anything like that. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta look after those old people, skeptical. Gotta look out for them, man. You gotta be there, get their backs. Gotta get their backs. For sure. I have a lot of respect for the elders everywhere I am, both in Canada, wherever I go. I really respect the elderly people, even if I don't speak their language, and I always smile and say hi. They're the first ones to reply back to you, and, more so than anybody else. The elderly people are very friendly and just very personable, very personable. And I'm sure you can all can contest to that in every race, no matter where you are. The elderly people are super friendly, nice people wherever you go. You say hi, you speak to them, they're going to speak back to you. It's not like the generation that we've raised now, that you can say hi and they don't even bat their eye at you. You talk to an old person, they're going to make sure that they answer you back, because that's the way they were raised, and that's the way I was raised, even with a bloody text message. I'm almost elderly. I'm not elderly yet, so don't put me in your category. Not yet, anyway. I got another year, darn it, another year. More than a year. June 2nd of next year, I'll be 60. So I'm still in my 50s, man. I'm just a young whippersnapper still. So yeah, I mean, it was one day, man, and it sounds like that was it. It's come to a head. It blew up. I mean, there might be a little bit of stuff going on, but it sounds like that's pretty much it, man. It's blown over. One day, one full 24 hours. It's already winding down. And like I say, over here, where we are, life was pretty normal. It really, really was. I didn't see anything, and I think it was the same in Playa del Carmen. It was the same in Cancun. So Merida was the same. I talked to my friend Riley over there. So here you can see them cleaning up the aftermath. A lot of burnt out vehicles, right? I talked to my friend over in Merida, Riley, and he said he got out of the gym on Sunday, and he was like, "Holy crap! What's with all the police everywhere? So much National Guards, and like Merida's loaded with military, loaded with military. It's the safest city in Mexico, well, in all of North America, and there's cameras everywhere, cameras and police everywhere." So, but yeah, he didn't really know anything was going on until he got home and he put this on, right? He's like me. He doesn't have that TV filling his head with crap 24/7. With that Fox News and Global News and CNN and all that BS. So we don't live that way, man. And if you live that way, stop, because your life will be a lot better. Trust me, it will be. Turn that crap off. Just turn it off. There's nothing you can do about it anyway, and most of it's BS. It really is. If you ask any media person right now about Mexico, they'd tell you don't go here. It's a dumpster fire. Every place you go, there's dead bodies. You're going to die. You're going to get kidnapped, shot, killed. Yeah, they're going to get you, man. They're going to get you. I don't live my life in fear, and you shouldn't either. It's not like that at all. Not even close. Life is normal, man. Just normal everyday life right now. It's already back to normal. So I'm glad it blew over, though. I'm glad it did. And like I said, I got caught up in it too. I honestly did. I was, because I think it's human nature, right? Because you're bombarded. It's just it's like, okay, stop. And then you got to just take a step back and then, okay, let's analyze the situation. Let's do some real research. Get off a face crack. Face crack is not going to help you. You might as well be listening to a dumpster fire. Exactly. You might as well be listening to Fox News. You got taking your information from Facebook. Oh my Lord. So yeah, once I took a step back and started doing a little bit my own research and using common sense, started using common sense. Let's get back to some common sense. So I don't know what happened to common sense. I really don't. So, and I'm not for clicks and you watch my videos, great. If you don't, well, thank you for giving us a shot. We truly appreciate it. But I'm not here to try to impress anybody, and I'm not here to mislead anybody and spread panic and fear. So I don't want to live my life like that. So, and I don't want you guys to live your life like that. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for your mind. It's not healthy for your body, and it's surely not healthy for your soul. It's not healthy for any one of those things to live your life like that. It isn't. It's not healthy for you to live like that. And that's why I don't do that type of stuff, and I don't promote that type of stuff. So I just wanted to give my frickin' half a cent, because I don't even have 2 cents. That's my half a cent on the whole situation. And yeah, I think I truly appreciate you guys hopping on. I really do, and listening to my opinion of this. So you just get tired of all of the BS, right? That's out there. Like, I wasn't even going to do this video. I really wasn't going to. And then when I just seen all of the misinformation and people that were believing the misinformation, like AI video that you can clearly see is AI, and people are believing it, and the imagery that they were believing, these photographs that were AI generated, and like, enough is enough already, people. Like, come on. And yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was terrible. And it happened. It would happen. Like I said, there was one death, one casualty. The rest were military and bad guys, So they weren't targeting civilians. They weren't kidnapping people. They weren't shooting people. They weren't breaking into people's homes. And the media made it sound like it was just, well, I'm assuming. This I'm going to assume because I know the media and from what other people are saying. But when I see seen other people saying, the media just is, everything is just mountain out of a molehill, right? So yeah, well, that's, and there was a young fellow who, he's a Mexican guy, and he reports a lot of Mexican stuff. And, where do you think the guns come from? The guns didn't come from Mexico. And I'm not going to say they came from the USA either. They could have come from anywhere, but they didn't come from here. The guns didn't come from here. So they got a pretty strict gun law here. And I will still say this today, right now, that Mexico is more than like, in my opinion, is still safer than any city in Canada or the USA. It's still safer here than any city in Canada or the USA. I firmly stand by that. That is my opinion. And I still, after yesterday and everything else, I still firmly, I can look you in the eye and honestly say that I firmly believe that. Whether you believe me or agree with me or not, that's totally up to you. But that's my opinion, and I still stand by that opinion today. That it's still safer here than in Canada, than any city in Canada or the USA. And even the rural towns are getting out of control with home invasions and stuff like that, and the robbery, petty theft, all drug-related crimes, right? All drug-related crimes, which they don't have here, other than the shootout from yesterday with the National Guard and the military and the government. So, and I still don't agree with the way they went about it, like the government. Like, I think it could have been planned out better. I really, really do. So, what is this picture? Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Tulum resumes to normal activity, February 2nd, security incidents. So, I believe that because from what I saw online, I don't know exactly what went on in Tulum, but I think it was dealt with rather quickly. And from what I'm seeing from boots on the ground online, that it's back to normal already. So they shut this whole area down pretty quickly. But you got to remember, like, Quintana Roo has been a hotbed of activity for decades. So they've already had, the military presence is very big here. So within a few hours, there's 20,000, National Guards deployed throughout Quintana Roo or more, so they can nip stuff in the bud pretty quickly here, so thank God for that. And again, I want to say a shout out to all the men and women who, kept us safe, right? And didn't let it get any worse in Puerto Vallarta or Guadalajara, and shout out to them for sure, because that takes a lot of how do you say, a lot of guts, to face bad people like that when you know what they're capable of, so that's kudos to them, man. So here's the next day in Puerto Vallarta, and you can see already there's people walking around. They haven't cleaned the cars up yet, but there's already people out in the street walking around. It's pretty quiet. I think people are shell shocked a little bit, right? So there probably is a lot of people still staying home, and I'm sure there's businesses that are still closed, but there was definitely some that were open, So, and there is people that are, shell shocked, right? I watched a video of a guy walking around, just doing a live stream, and showing, people were walking around already, and he was walking around. He was fine, there was nothing going on. There was no violence. There was no burnings. It was just all happened on Sunday. That was it. Already today, it had come to an end already. So it came and went very quickly. Okay, let's go to the comments here quickly here. Like I said, okay, we're 44, so we'll go. Okay, allowed to be late. Cheesing, yeah, always cheesing me. Skeptical, thank you so much for hopping on. And yeah, Robe Montre is a good guy, man. I like his videos. I don't watch them all, but I have checked his channel out. I would like to meet the guy one day, but he seems like a cool cat for sure. I seen he did drop something about this, but I didn't watch it, so I was busy doing my own thing. So everything, Keith. Again, thank you so much, you and Sherry. Hope we get to see you tomorrow. So we're heading to Jennifer and I. We're just living life, man. We're not letting anything stop us. We're getting in our car tomorrow. We're driving over to Playa del Carmen. We're gonna hop on the ferry. We're going to Cozumel. We're gonna spend the day in Cozumel. Yeah, I'm moving my camera around. Sorry, guys, my desk is wobbly. So we're going to Cozumel, and hanging out there with our friends. So we're just going to live life, come back, and hopefully hang out with Keith and Sherry, meet up with my other friend, George, and his wonderful wife, Barbara, from Canada. You guys have met them before. So we'll hang out in Playa del Carmen for a little bit tomorrow and in Cozumel, mostly Cozumel. Have dinner in Playa del Carmen before we drive back home. So fun times, just life is normal, man. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys hopping on. Sean, thank you so much. Yeah, exactly. Mostly dumbing BS, the TV. I fully agree. Yeah, better grab another cerveza. Absolutely. Yeah, and you know what? I turned my television off over 12 years ago. Like it was long before COVID. Long before COVID, I turned the news off because I just got tired of the propaganda and the fear mongering and the bad news. It was just bad, just nonstop. And I was that guy. I'd wake up in the morning, put on global TV, check out the weather, make my coffee, make my lunch before I go to work. Like probably 90% of the population, right? In North America, right? Got the TV going. Got the news going. I'm informed. I'm watching the news. Got to stay informed. Watching the news. Until you realize you're not so informed. You're just indoctrinated. So, and it's mostly BS. So anyway, I got tired of the bad news, man. So I just turned that garbage off. And my life has been so much better since I've turned it off. I just don't watch it. Don't watch it. Yeah. Back home in the UK, Manchester. I can't afford the UK. Yeah, do what makes me happy. Exactly. Yeah, it really wound down really, really quickly here, really, really quickly. I'm going to throw these up on the screen briefly here. Oh, yeah. So Keith was talking about saving the old lady, got her keys. Hopefully, it saved her keys for us. Yeah, just looking for problems. Exactly. Again, Keith, my other friend Keith, thanks for hopping on, shoveling snow. Always a good time. No doubt, no doubt. Big Daddy government says not to go. Yeah. Yeah, well, they want you to spend your money at home, not out in Mexico. Yeah. No, you can still come here, man. Life is good. It's again, you just have common sense, right? Just have common sense. That's all there is, I wouldn't walk around Vancouver all drunk up or at 3, and not even that. I wouldn't walk around Vancouver at 2 in the morning or Toronto at 2 in the morning. And there's areas in Edmonton, Alberta, I wouldn't walk around at 1 o'clock in the morning, or even at 9 o'clock at night. I wouldn't walk around. Never mind 1 in the morning. There's areas in all those cities I wouldn't walk around, period, no matter what time of day it is. It'd be 2 in the afternoon and I wouldn't go down any of those streets, and mostly 99% of it is because of the drug problem that they don't have here. So that's why. And it is easy to get caught up in that stuff. It is when you're bombarded with it. And when it's so close to home, right? you know, even though Puerto Vallarta is still the other side of Mexico, like, you know, thousands of miles away, like over a 2-day drive to get over there, right? Like it's not like it's a next door or anything, but you know, it's easy to get caught up in it. It is for sure. It's really easy when you're bombarded with it. It's really easy to get caught up in that crap. It really is. Yeah, and again, common sense is rare. It sure is. It really is. It really is. Well, thanks, Golden Studio Girl. If you're still on, I really appreciate you hopping on and putting up with me here and chatting with us. Oh, why is it not letting me? Oh, there's my dear friend Christopher. Yeah, exactly. Take the cautious, be cautious 100%. Yeah, be cautious and like I had to I literally had to take a step back and, you know, do proper research, look at the government website. Not that what the government is saying, but not that that's always 100% accurate, but I think it's definitely more accurate than what you're going to get on Facebook and everything else. So, yeah, and I'm that way too. It's good to hear from boots on the ground, actual when you actually see people out walking and showing you in reality what's going on. Because and if it's a live stream, especially because that cannot be doctored, not too well, not too easily anyway. You know, it can be, but not too easily. So chances are, if it's a live stream, it's probably going to be pretty accurate, right? So that's what I look, or someone that you know you can trust, right? Who's not going to mislead you or spread misinformation, right? Like the lady in Puerto Vallarta, I'm 1,000% sure I can trust her in her opinion. So, and I really appreciate. I think her channel should do a lot better than what it does. But I think my channel should do a lot better than what it does too. She has a pretty good channel. She really does. I can't remember her name, but she's been in Puerto Vallarta for a while. I don't watch all of her videos like anybody. I don't watch all of anybody's videos, but I do catch some of them. And she did post one today. It was a short little vlog today. She walked around. So yeah, war sells, man, and it's a money generator. Yeah, yeah, that too, exactly. Yeah, yep, 1,000%, man. Yeah, you don't have anything going on over there in Ecuador. It took me took me a few minutes to realize who I was talking to there. I seen the 49-0, and I'm like, okay, why do I know that handle? Thanks for hopping on, brother. I truly appreciate it. Thanks, Christopher. I do like getting off the beaten path, man. I do. You look at my trapping videos, and I don't know. I've always been that way my whole life. I'll just take off. My younger brother, Lynn, he's the same way. Me and him are a lot alike that way. He used to just go for hours and hours off fishing by himself and go trek through the bush and out to a lake in the middle of nowhere by himself. And I do the same thing. I walk for miles and miles and miles and miles. I love walking and hiking. I just love it. And biking. Love it. Yeah, I wouldn't go around Toronto after dark. That's for sure. I don't even know if I go around too many places in Toronto in the broad daylight. Yeah, it's getting pretty crazy out there. It sure is. It sure is, man. Yeah, hats off to everybody who helped us out there. It's a violent cult, yeah. Oh, well, I'll have to ask you about that, Christopher. Yeah. Um, if you're talking about Puerto Vallarta, I think some of the big stores are open already. I think some stuff has opened up already. Definitely the little tiendas, a lot of them are open for sure because they're not missing out on a buck or two to be made. If there's a few pesos to be made, they're going to be open, right? Like that lady, she was out early in the morning, I think. So, it's typical here for stuff not to get going until all over Mexico till 10, 11 o'clock, right? Sometimes even into the evening. Some places are only open in the evening, right? When it cools down a bit. So yeah, I think here nothing closed, nothing over here. So I won't speak for over there because I don't know 1,000%, but I'm gonna guess that most places would have been opened back up today unless there was damage that was done to the business, But I'm sure that they were opened up. They may be opened a little bit later on today, especially once they saw that things were already come to a head and calm down, right? And which it did, and it has, So I'm sure everything opened up, man. People got to work. People need money to survive, right? So nothing will be closed for too terribly long. Okay, now you're just throwing me questions that I can't answer right now. What does a ferry cost? I don't know. It depends. It's expensive, but we got our driver's license. If you haven't saw that video, you can go check that out. Somebody actually unsubscribed watching that video, so I don't know why, if it hurt their feelings or what. But somebody unsubscribed watching the video from today that I dropped, the driver's license video. Could have been an accident, though. Who knows? Whatever. So I thought it was a little bit odd, but whatever. It happens. Not a big deal. So if you're watching and you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so to make up for that person that unsubscribed today watching my getting your driver's license video here, getting your driver's license here in Puerto Morelos. So we are going to get a discount on that. So off the top of my head, my friend, I can't remember how much it costs for the ferry. I know it's not cheap anyway. If you're going as a tourist, it's not cheap. I think it was oh god, I can't even remember. We're gonna get about half off though. I do know that much with our residency. So oh yeah, so see, there you go. Yeah, he strikes me to be a common sense type of person for sure. And it's great that you hopped on. I truly appreciate it. So here in Mexico, this means yes. Someone goes like this, it means yes. Truly appreciate it. 40-hour drive to Puerto Vallarta. There you go. Happy days. Yeah. No, that's right. You can't please them all. That's right. Can't please them all. As much as I want to be everybody's friend, I just can't be everybody's friend. I try really hard. I really try to be as friendly as possible to everybody, but I'm not everybody's cup of tea, just like I'm sure you're not everybody's cup of tea. Which is just fine. That's life, right? So that's it, man. We're at 1 hour. So you know me, that's my live stream is an hour. I don't do the 4, 2, 3 hour live streams. So we'll keep it to the 1 hour mark. So you got any questions? Drop them in there now. Otherwise, thanks for hopping on. I am going to go live life because that's what I like to do. I'm going to go spend some time with Jennifer. I think she's still working out there. I thought she might come in and say hi, but she was supposed to be off work an hour ago, but I think she's still plugging away out there. So I do have some videos dropping. The next video on Friday is we'll talk about that for a minute and then we'll go. Friday's video is with Sherry and Keith. We go to our Canuck friends that are here visiting from Canada for a couple months. So they were here in Puerto Morelos. They were on the market video. So we hung around with them at the market that day, and we went to have the birria. That video is doing quite well. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It's pretty interesting, pretty cool. We had a lot of fun that day, and everybody loves the market. Who doesn't love a good Mexican market? So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. It's just a couple videos back in the rotation. So we go out to a place that Jennifer and I went to 2 years ago, a beach on the peninsula north of Cancun, where it goes to a point like this, way out past Cancun, about a little better than a half an hour drive. We drove until we couldn't drive anymore, and the road ran out, and it was the ocean, and that was it. And it had changed in the 2 years, man. Oh my God, I couldn't believe how much it's changed since we were there last time. When we went there the first time, it wasn't on a Sunday, so that might have been part of it. It was quite busy because it was Sunday. But some inside information now, there's a parking lot there, so they family set up and they charge for parking, and they sell a few things there now. And it's busier than heck now. There was sargassum there. People were camping all up and down the beach, and it was just packed with locals. It was all mostly locals. People were kite surfing on the other side at the mangrove. So when that video drops, I'm going to put in the comments our first time we were there, so you can compare the two. If you never saw the first video, and you can compare the two, if you'd be so kind, check the one out and then check the our first visit out. Kind of interesting, actually. And then I'm going to make some videos how to get to Portside and back for people from the Colonia side here. So I think maybe help out some people that are coming here to Puerto Morelos and don't know the area, and they don't know the ins and outs and which path to take and where to go, and what's it like to get across from the Colonia side over here if you're renting a bike, or renting my trike that we're renting, or my pedal bike that we rent now. Or if you rent a bike from somebody else and you come across. So we're going to drop some of those videos. And yeah, we got lots coming up, man. Lots in the works. More Cosmel videos, obviously. There's another Cosmel video coming up. One more. We're not going to do a video tomorrow with our friends, I don't think. Maybe an interview video or something, but we're not going to video the beach club or anything around Cosmel, because we've done that a couple times already. So maybe if we go there, plan a special day, we'll go over there and we'll do that. So okay, so back to the comments. That was really all I have to say about the videos. David, thanks again for hopping on. Truly appreciate it. And all you guys, God bless everybody out there. You just come back from Puerto Morelos. We love it here, man. We absolutely love it here. More like bitter coffee. Yeah, I like strong coffee. Oh, you're saying you're like a bitter coffee. So we're on the Colonia side. You can reach out to us by email or social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You can drop us a message. You can add me on any one of the social media platforms. It's our channel name, Two Gringos on the Gulf. Or if you drop an actual comment, I can send out my email. Or our email's in the description too. It's on our Facebook page. We're pretty easy to find, man. Two Gringos on the Gulf. Just Google us. We're out there. We don't hide nothing. We're an open book, man. We really are. We are an open book. We tell it like it is. We show you what we see and the way we see it, and we give you our opinions. That's all we do, is our opinion. That's it. It's not factual. It's a lot of the stuff is just our opinion, what we see at that present time that we're filming. So that's it. Adios. God bless. Thanks again for hopping on, you guys. Truly appreciate it. Adios. Hasta luego. God bless everybody out there. Peace on earth. And as always, be kind to one another. Please be kind to one another. Thank you so much. I can't stress that enough. And if I bloody well say hi to you, you better say hi back. Take care, guys. Peace.